Hello students, Standard 7, chapter number 13 in physics. The revision is going on motion and time, in which we revise some questions of like the speed, uniform speed, non-uniform speed, measurement of time, about the pendulum time period. Also we learn some numericals. Then the measuring devices in the ancient time, nowadays, speedometer, odometer, etc. Now when we talk about the speed and that thing in the physics, then it comes the graph. That is the distance against time graph. What are the graphs? What is a graph? Graph is the pictorial representation of the given data. When the data is displayed with the pictures, then that data is easily can be understood and we can derive any result from it also. There are different types of graphs are there, like a pie chart, a bar graph, a histogram, or a line graph, etc. So there are different types of graph you learn in the mathematics also. Like in a bar graph, you draw the bars of uniform width with equal distance according to the different heights of the given data. Similarly, in a pie chart, the information is divided into different angles according to the measurement and make the parts of the circle. Now, when we draw the graph, what is our first requirement? There are the axes. So what are x-axis and y-axis and origin in a graph? You know that when we want to draw a graph, we draw two mutually perpendicular lines. The horizontal line is known as x-axis and the vertical line is known as y-axis, and that both lines are exactly at 90 degrees perpendicular to each other. So the horizontal line is known as x-axis, vertical line as y-axis. And you know that x-axis and y-axis intersect at one point in the middle. And the intersection of the x-axis and y-axis is known as the origin. So origin means the intersection point of the x-axis and y-axis. So that is called the origin. So you are familiar with the x-axis, y-axis and that point in the middle which is known as the origin of the graph. Now when we draw the graph, we need two types of variables. There are dependent variables and independent variables. Variables are of two types, especially in physics. They are independent variable and dependent variable. What are independent variables? Independent variables means the increasing or decreasing of that variable does not depend on another variable. For example, time. Time is generally taken as the independent variable because it does not depend on any other variable. The dependent variable means the increasing or decreasing of that variable depends on the another variable. For example, the speed, etc. It with respect to time, We measure them according to the time, and then it is speed increasing or decreasing that we measure with respect to time. So they depend on the time. So time is independent variable, but the distance covered, displacement or the speed or the acceleration, all others like that are the dependent variables. So variables are of two types. Independent means increasing or decreasing of it does not depend on any other variable, and dependent means increasing or decreasing will depend on another type of independent variable. Now generally independent variable is located on x-axis and dependent variable are represented on y-axis. So here the question is, on which axis are they represented? So generally, as I told you, the independent variable is represented on x-axis, while the dependent variable along the y-axis. And then when we locate them, we need the one more important thing, that is the particular scale. We need the scale also. That what type of scale should we choose? Because when we draw the graph, the the scale is very important. Scale means on x-axis, on y-axis, 1 centimeter is how many? That is the scale. So the scale is very important to draw the graph. Now, how can we choose a particular scale? That is also very important. Because if you don't choose a perfect scale, then your graph will be like untidy. Maybe it is too small and the page will be empty, or maybe it cannot give you the complete information about that data. And therefore we have to be very careful while we choose the proper scale. To choose the scale, first thing required is the lowest and the highest value of the data. So check that, especially the dependent variable. In the dependent variable, first check which is the smallest value and which is the largest value, so that we can accommodate the whole data. Otherwise, maybe the sum of the data you will not be able to express on the your graph page. So first thing is the checking the difference, means the highest value and the lowest value, and then the quantity can be exactly you can represent. Second thing is the intermediate values of each quantity. It means that when some intermediate values are there, then your scale should be proper such that we can easily find out the value of that intermediate points. And so it is very well, because when we draw the graph, we don't use the whole things, but some special times or whatever is there. And then if you want to know the value at the intermediate points, then the scale should be such that we can easily find out the value in that intermediate points also. And third thing is required is to utilize the maximum part of the paper on which the graph is to be drawn. So if the graph is bigger and if you choose a small scale, then within the half page your graph will be finished. Then it looks not proper and it will not give you proper information about the graph also. So whenever you draw the graph, maximum use of the paper is very necessary. So maximum use of the means you have to utilize the maximum place of the paper so that it is very looking also nice, and then it can be easily understandable also. So that are the very important things when you choose a particular scale when you draw the graph, because in some of the graphs it is very important, in your bar graph or in your line graph or in your histogram, in everywhere there are graphs, the what you call it, scale is very important. Now how to draw the distance against time graph? For distance against time graph, you should be given the distance covered at a different time interval. So now time interval we have to represent on the x-axis, and the distance covered will be on the y-axis, because distance covered is a dependent variable which depends on time. So now first we put the time on the x-axis, like if the reading are taken at 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, then at equal distance on the x-axis we will write down the times 8, 8:30, 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30. Now check that what is the highest distance and what is the lowest distance covered, and then according to that choose your scale on the y-axis. If it is not big amounts, then you can take 1 centimeter is equal to 1 kilometer, or 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer, 20 kilometer, 100 kilometer, according to your situation, so that you can accommodate the lowest value and the highest value. And then after choosing the scale, one by one check first 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock what was the distance? So from 8 o'clock draw the height which will reach that distance on the y-axis and draw a bar graph. Similarly for the 8:30, similarly for the 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and so on. So that will represent the graph properly. Now the last question arises that what is the importance, right? The importance of distance against time graph. So generally what happens that the graph distance against the time graph will give you various informations about the motion, like at what time, at a particular time the distance covered was how much. So when the graph is drawn, and then if some intermediate points are also there, that at particular time between that given times also, because distance time graph will be like the line graph also, and then it will give you the information about the various time, etc. Similarly, it will give you, if you want to find out the distance covered at particular time, then by the calculation on the graph you can easily find out what is the time covered, distance covered in particular time. Similarly, at particular time, at which place is that vehicle, that also you can find out that from the time you go to the graph and then go to the y-axis, then it will show you the distance covered. So at particular time in between also you can find out where is the vehicle that time. Similarly, it can give you the information that if it is accelerated motion or the decelerated motion or the uniform motion or the non-uniform motion, etc. So these are the things that we can understand with the help of the distance against time graph, and it is very important in the physics. Actually here you don't have to draw the graph, but in future, in higher standards, you have to draw the graphs also. So here we have the basic ideas that how and what is the graph, what is the importance of graph, how can we choose the different scale in the graph and so on. So here we get lots of information today about the graph. We learn about the axis like x-axis, y-axis, what is origin. Also we learn about that different types of variables like dependent variables and independent variables, and they are independent variable on x-axis and the dependent variable are represented on the y-axis. Then we have to choose the scale and what thing we have to remember why doing suitable change scale, and then lastly we saw the importance of the distance line graph. So here I wrote down some questions and most of the questions are discussed, so you can write down your own as an assignment, and any confusion write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.